Thanks a lot for staying with us. Let's check through the papers this morning. Now we have some of them. I have First News and The Nation.
I have The Punch and We Can't Trust newspapers this morning.
Let's start off with First News now. The big story is captioned, sounds concerning. This talk about 10,000 custody death scandal as military rejects Amnesty International's alarming claims, demands proof from rights group as calls for justice intensify. Kano government, that's at the bottom of the paper, Kano government blames FG for Emma's palace blockade. No foreign military bases will be established in Nigeria. Chief of Defense Staff Musa says there. Ibori Sueno's defection, PDP declares seat vacant, demands fresh election. Hundreds rally in Chad against French military presence. Air Peace rejects FCCPC probe, denies exploitative fair claim.
The big story on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, we have tax reform. Northern governor senators divided as stakeholders form panel. And lawmakers give conditions to back bills. And that's what we're still discussing on the program this morning, talking about the tax reform bills. Northern senators divided as stakeholders form panel. All right, more stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Let's quickly move on to the masthead now. Farotimi, Afe Babalola demands proof. Police file fresh charges. Yuletide, Dangote marketers strike supply deals. NAPCL exports to Dubai. One of the big story there on the front page of the Punch newspaper. And why Nigerian-born Adegboyega's deportation was approved. UK judges are talking. Erin Jesha Waterfall. Tourist jam in ruins as neglect persists. And police demote Assistant Commissioner of Police, sack 19 others for misconduct. All of the stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning.
The Nation now. Naira rebounds as speculators dump dollars, closes at 1,515 to the dollar in parallel market as FX speculators lose 10 billion naira in Naira rally. Farotimi will go free if he proves allegations against me, Babalola, Afe Babalola says, as police slam 12 fresh charges related to cyber crimes on the ferry activist, one against unlawful gatherings in Ekiti State. Ahead of Yuletide, Dangote, I should say, marketers seal deal to avert fuel scarcity. Tension in Kano as DSS police surrounds Sanusi's palace. State government blames FG for incident. South African president under fire over Nigeria visa deal. Ramaphosa, the president there, accused of trying to sell country. And for the ruling ANC party in South Africa, attacks failed attempt to sow chaos. On the entertainment scene, Omowumi Dada says, I smoked 14 cigarettes in one day of filming. Charlie Boy also in the news, why I came out with my cancer story.
All right, we'll move on to We Can't Trust. And We Can't Trust this morning is focusing on issues surrounding health. And Nigerians under burden of malaria and cost of drugs rises by 100%. Single dose hit 10,000 naira. All right. And you have the picture story there you can go through when you get a copy of We Can't Trust this morning. Let's quickly move on to the masthead. Police Commission sacks 19 officers over misconduct. Page 12 of We Can't Trust this morning. And Kaduna's Millennium City Power Project that never commenced. Page 10 of We Can't Trust this morning. And Kano government blames FG as police DSS barricade Emir's palace. All of the stories on the front page of We Can't Trust this morning. Kemi, over to you.
All right, and those are the headline stories, the ones that time will permit us to take. But as you can see, there are
very interesting stories on the
interesting
front page.
Stories there.
And let's quickly look at this tax reform. Northern senators divided as stakeholders form panel. Still on this issue of tax reform. They are still yet to have a
unanimous.
They are yet to have a unanimous agreement on this issue of tax
But at the end of the day, yes, there is room for you to gather as a group. But at the end of the day, for me, one of my takeaways would be after all of that, you know, the general vibes. Now, it's also apt for you as a state governor to go back home, build your own team, on the subnational level in your own domain, and look for how you can work around this bill, look for the best scenarios, best options, worst case scenarios, and try to find a common ground for your state.
And it's also a call for governors to also be more creative at this time.
Indeed.
To be able to boost their IGR. So if you're a governor, you're now ready to tax your brain and bring out something good for your citizens. This is the time to start working and working hard. And
perhaps even if you are looking at, okay, but if you are now saying, if all of you are saying, let us go back home and look for how to boost our IGR, are they low-hanging fruits that my constituents can immediately benefit from? Or should I just focus on building systems? That one can be termed a low-hanging fruit. Can I just build systems that will ensure that, deliverables are going to be shared out across more and more of citizens of my state? So, perhaps these are conversations that people want to hear. As we said earlier on, the regular person on the street may not just be particular about this conversation.
They are not.
What they want to see is more food on their table, more money in their pockets.
Absolutely.
You have you are the governors, you're the president, we voted for you, and you gave so much promises. Let's see them happen in our lifetime.
And that's why we'll talk about the dividends of democracy. That is what Nigerians are yearning for at this time.
All right, let's take this